Hello, hello. If you hear a gurgling in the background, that is is it an oil diffuser? Yeah, so that's not me gurgling. It's the thing in the background there. I was scrolling Netflix and I came across this poster for this little movie with Reese Witherspoon and Mark Wahlberg. Not Mark Wahlberg, the Hulk, Mark Ruffalo. And I know sometimes Netflix makes their own posters and those posters change depending on their user data or whatever. But this poster was actually one of the official posters for this movie, Just Like Heaven. And it is an eyesore. A movie's poster is crucial, right? Think back to when you would walk through the aisles at your local rental video store, Hollywood Video, Blockbuster. I was lucky to grow up in a place that had its own independent video shop. So think back to when you did that, and I guess that only applies if you're under the age of 23. And what made you pick up that cover, right? It was, well, the title, because that's what you see on the spine, but also the poster. The poster made you decide if you wanted to flip it, read the back of it, and then from there you decide if you wanted to rent it or if your mom would let you rent it. So looking at this poster, I just can't tell much about the movie. I understand it has these two very popular actors, so that's, helpful if you're a fan of them. But the way the bodies are arranged is just bizarre. The flowers are hideous. I get that they're an important part of the movie. I have seen this movie. I've completely forgotten it, but I remember the flowers being significant. The color and just the arrangement, if this was a bouquet that I received, I would send it back. The tagline, "Love will bring you back," it's okay. It gives you kind of an idea. One or both of these characters are dead, and that's important to the plot somehow. I don't think this poster is deserving of having the rights to one of The Cure's songs. I'll just say that. So I began my quest to look at more bad movie posters, and, a Google search led me to the Screen Rant article, 10 Hilariously Bad Movie Posters. None of the posters were especially egregious. I think they're just of their time, right? Very, very specific to the year that the movie came out. This one, chairman of the board, yeah, it's pretty bad, and I don't know what they did with the color. His skin tone looks like he had too many carrots. If you eat way too many carrots, it can kind of affect the tone of your skin. And also the color, the costume, it looks very inspired by Jim Carrey and The Mask. I'm embarrassed to say the following movie I have seen in theaters. I paid my hard-earned money or my mother's hard-earned money to see this. So The Killers, just Killers. They have this basic blank white background, and I don't understand that choice at all. Like, background informs so much of tone and can give details about the movie, and I don't know why they went with this very boring blank white background. Of course, the woman doesn't know how to hold the gun, and in this alternate poster I found, she's literally putting on her makeup because, what are we gonna have this woman do on the poster? Oh, it'd be funny if she held up a gun, like, it's gross. Or, she's just putting on her makeup. I hate it. The facial expressions of both of these actors should have been an indicator for how bad this movie was going to be. Bad and cheesy and bad. The tagline is marriage. Give it your best shot. Sorry, the way that sentence was structured. Let me do a take two. Marriage. Give it your best shot. Sure, okay, puns. I hate puns, so I like the splatter on the eye, but it just makes me feel like I should have gone paintballing instead of gone to see this movie. I would have had a better time and gotten more, bang for my buck. Okay, moving on. I remember walking through my local Cinemark and seeing the cardboard billboard for this poster, and I stopped. And I stared, and I questioned, and I did not end up seeing this movie. I think the most obvious issue is that it's clear that the six of them were never in the same room for this poster. Clearly, they photoshopped, if not all of them in, some of them in. That's the thing that feels a bit odd. And I understand it's tricky to arrange 6 people. 6 people is a lot. 2, easy. 3, easy enough. 4, sure. 6 is difficult. Hayden Christensen's in the middle, like he's on his own plane. So they're trying to create some depth here. Am I wrong, or is Hayden not looking directly at me? He looks like he's looking a little bit off, whereas everyone else is looking at me, except for obviously Michael Ealy in the background. The tagline, everyone's after something, feels lazy. It does nod to this as some kind of heist movie, but I don't know if that's the tagline or just the title takers. They will be taking something. Something is still weird about this poster, and I couldn't figure it out, so I was looking online, and Vladimir Gendelman noted the lighting sources don't make any sense. And I was kicking myself for not noticing because I work in lighting for, video production. And it's so obvious once I read that. I was like, that is what the issue is, aside from the blocking being kind of weird and Hayden's head being a little bit too small. The key light, the brightest light, is camera left for most of these characters, but that's not the case for Brown or Ely, so that's a bit off. The lighting ratio, the brightest point to the darkest point, is different. I think it's too different with these characters. Sometimes it makes sense that it's a little bit different, say that there's someone's closer to a lamp, or there's the moon is brighter or whatever, but I don't think that's the case in this poster. I like how they use light to bring your eye's attention to the suitcase, which is probably full of money. But why would it only light Ely's shoulder and like the side of T.I.'s face? But it's not affecting much of his clothing. And then it really blasts the suitcase. So that's a little off as well. The true travesty is that Christensen looks like that peanut in the bowler hat. Cut. Pew, pew, pew.